I'm Janet Mintzer, President and CEO here at S.Buck International. When I started working here 14 years ago, my background included nonprofit leadership, but my international experience was very limited to hosting international exchange students and international travel. Talk about being in the right place at the right time. I was here 6 months as Vice President COO when the CEO left, and I was asked to step in as interim CEO. 6 months later, I was given the title of President and CEO. I had a lot to learn about the living conditions and the cultures of the countries where we worked. The first time I traveled in my new role was to Vietnam right before 9/11. The poverty I saw there was striking. I saw children in orphanages sleeping two in a bed and bathing with a bucket of cold water. When I visited schools, I saw open-air classrooms that were falling apart, a lack of books, bare feet everywhere, and bathrooms that consisted of a hole in the ground which was about the size of a pipe in the corner of a room. It took me quite a while to get the courage to use the bathroom. Naked children begging on the street are not uncommon in the Philippines, but having a huge rat skirt by my feet in Thailand as I was sitting in someone's home scared me to death, but no one in the room flinched. I arrived in Vietnam one year, and our director asked me if I brought my sleeping bag. She was looking right at my suitcase, and I said, "How could I fit a sleeping bag in my suitcase, and why?" She said, "We're going to the Central Highlands, and the bed there may not be the best." Bed bugs, I kept thinking. So the director took me to buy a sleeping bag, which in Vietnam is a tiny little silk sack that you just slip your body in. The night we arrived in the Highlands, I went to slip in this sack only to realize that they were not made to accommodate my height. The sack came up to about here, so the whole night I was... All of these things that I just told you have caused me sleepless nights, of course. But they also made me realize that I had an opportunity of a lifetime to do something more great than I could have ever imagined. That first scene got me a little emotional. Skip that line. I've had the good fortune to accomplish many things over the years here. And I could tell you stories that would make you laugh, like the infamous time I was told in Thailand that I must have been beautiful when I was younger, and the time that I was told it looked like I had gained some weight, which is really a cultural concern for one's health in Asia, not the insult that it is here in the United States. I could also tell you stories that would make you cry, but I can't tell you those stories because I cry too. I'm proud that S.Buck International has served over 88,000 children and family members in our last fiscal year, here and abroad. But it's the simple success of changing a child's life that I sponsored that touches my heart the most. Because I know I personally changed a life, and therefore generations to follow. Increasing visitation to the S.Buck House has been wonderful too, but I'm most proud of starting programs here that focus on children in our community, such as our high school leadership program, our summer camp programs that help prepare children for success in the global world we live in today. We have an incredible vision for the future, which will expand opportunities to explore and appreciate other cultures, build better lives for children around the globe, and continue to interpret the S.Buck House in new and exciting ways. I dream of the opportunities we will offer, such as service trips abroad. Our first trip to the Philippines will take place this coming February and will include the opportunity to meet our sponsored children, visit their schools and homes. I'm excited about expanding our international travel and exchange programs, serving as a bridge between nations, increasing public awareness, and inspiring people to visit the Pearl Buck House in new ways so that they embrace and engage in Pearl Buck's continuing legacy. I also dream of building a vibrant development program to support our financial growth and success in all that we do. With Tony Luna's guidance, where's Tony? No pressure, Tony. And the leadership of our board of directors, we are bound for success. We have a great plan to continue developing this national historic landmark, one of the few about a woman's contribution to society, which is right here in our own backyard. But without the resources to do it, the mission and legacy of Pearl Buck will be forgotten. Can you imagine this place empty and vacant like Pearl Buck found it 80 years ago? Without support, it could happen. Here's why. Pearl Buck was ahead of her times, and to me, the most important woman who lived in the 20th century. But her one great flaw was that she did not leave an endowment to support the property here. Excuse me. We would not be here today, as it stands, without our Living the Legacy Society donors. Our Living the Legacy Society donors are people that make a multi-year commitment of donating $5,000 or more. This is a very, very special group of people who believe in our mission and they're committed to making a difference in this world. Their gifts have allowed us to build our cultural programming for students, expand our outreach to school, as well as improve the lives of children around the globe. Well, those of you who are here today that are a member of our Living the Legacy Society, please stand so you can be recognized. Don't be embarrassed. Be proud of your commitment, and others will stand with you. Thank you very much for your support. I invite everyone here today to join me in making a difference. I invite you to become part of someone's story. To inspire you further, we are so pleased to have a new Living the Legacy video funded by Comcast and produced by Video Gold that I'd like to ask you to join me in watching right now. Thank you.
It's always hard for me to keep it brief when I start talking about Pearl Buck because it's so multifaceted. You know, the woman, the house, my personal connection, the global scope of it, the positive impact, the children. But the fact that she spoke out on behalf of so many causes and you name it, she was so ahead of her time for children's rights and rights for the handicapped and no tolerance for prejudice at all, and education and healthy eating and civil rights. I mean, one woman had the backbone and the courage to do all of that.
Remember, she was a self-effacing lady. She was not the typical famous authoress. She was not the typical. She knew who she was. She felt good about herself. She understood herself, and she was just good.
Pearl S.Buck International has given us a place for the kids to come and learn more about their heritage and to spend more time with other kids that had that same experience.
It means a great deal for us, to us, for the kids to be able to celebrate their cultural heritage and to take that knowledge back into the schools and to the community.
When Anya came to camp, she was able to become the expert in the family on her culture, and I think it gave her some great confidence, and it gave her more interest than she had prior. She was able to come home and teach us what she had learned. The big thing for me was her interest. Prior, she had not had much interest in learning about her culture, and with the camp, that interest was sparked. I hope my children will grow to be just fabulous citizens of the world.
The Pearl S.Buck legacy really changed my life in a major way because I first participated in the Teacher Ambassador program, and I went to teach English in Pearl Buck's hometown in Zhenjiang with a group of other teachers, and I was planning to go there and teach for a year. And then I wound up staying at the school for another year, and then I became so interested in Chinese language and being in China. It's a fascinating place that's changing very rapidly. Just having the whole experience of being exposed to a completely different culture really helped me grow as a person. So I'm really grateful for that.
I went from late my 9th grade year being almost unable to present before even a classroom of 20 of my peers to giving a speech 3 or 4 minutes long without a script in front of several hundred parents. I could not have done that without my experience here.
Coming out of this high school leadership program, you not only learn how to become a leader, but also to be part of this huge family that we're in now. I don't want to stop there either. I want to do something more.
Pearl Buck's legacy teaches us what we should do for those that need our help. We can't just sit by and let these children starve.
My sponsored child's a little girl in the Philippines, Raven, and she's just wonderful. She writes to me. She tells me how great she's doing in school. She thanks me for the difference I've made in her life. It's just great. I love it. I'm so glad I got involved and that I've been able to make a difference in someone's life.
I sponsored a girl in the Philippines. First letter she wrote, she said to me, "Now I can get a uniform like the other children." And, you know, to have somebody who could just get a uniform like the other children had to make her feel so wonderful. And it makes me feel so wonderful.
So when I signed up to be a sponsor, they give you a list of children that you can choose from. I didn't know anything about where they were, who they were, what they did, what their situations were. And I said, you know, just pick the one who needs help right away first. And so they assigned me this little boy, Christian, and I do honestly think to myself, what about those other kids? You know, who's gonna sign up for them?
When I go to sleep at night, I hope that all of the children that Pearl S.Buck International is helping even have a bed. I hope they have a warm place to sleep in. I hope they had a book to read or maybe someone to read it to them. I think about all that we take for granted and how little it takes for us to change the life of a child and make it better.
I think everyone should get involved in the programs at Pearl S.Buck International. I'm an example of how these programs can change lives and bring the world closer. And I think we should all get involved to continue Pearl S.Buck's legacy and ideals.
It's changed my life completely because I was very much a stay-at-home person. And since I walked into here, it's been great for me. It's opened up a whole new world truly for me. It's really opened up a big world for me. I feel good when I'm here. I really do.
Every one of us, in a small way or a big way, can help, because every child should have that opportunity, and that's what Pearl S.Buck International is all about.
Get yourself involved, become part of it, help to change your life and change the lives of others.
These are their stories. Start writing your own story today. Live the legacy now.